for the introduction. Yeah, just to address your question that you already asked, Christian, how I came to this, what is my career journey. So I've been practicing construction law for some time. Like before I switched totally to the construction practice, I practiced general law for some time. And then considering the amount of projects here in the region, and especially in Georgia, I decided that I need to focus on the construction law. And sincerely speaking, in the very beginning of my career journey, I directly started with the FIDIC contract because it's the most popular form here for the infrastructure projects. And when I was looking at the FIDIC president list of the adjudicators, I thought it was something unachievable, like in the very beginning of my career. And especially when it was closed and there was no assessment and there was no exams to pass. So I wrote to FIDIC several times, but how to do this, how to achieve this president list, but they said that it's suspended for some time. And then when I learned that it was open, that the VCL was established, of course, I decided that I should do it and I should go for it. Well, I would say that preparation for the exam and like the whole assessment is a very, very rigorous process. It's something probably the most difficult exam that I've ever taken, and I've done my LLM studies and a lot of trainings and a lot of things like this. But this one was probably the most rigorous one, I would say. The preparation, as Christian already told us, is something that you can force yourself to do, just to reread all the contracts again. And if you have the practice on working on these contracts, on the FIDIC contracts, you will have some back knowledge already, but I would say that's not enough, because one thing is to work on the FIDIC project and the other one is to take this exam. What I mean by that is that you really need to know the differences between different kind of contracts. And when you are working on the project, you have one contract and you are totally focusing on this one. And during the exam phase one, you have to know the basic comparison things and differences between these contracts. So for example, there were many questions where you need to know, for example, 5 different editions of FIDIC. 2017 Red Book, 99 Red Book, 2017 Yellow Book, and so on. So, and you really have a very limited period of time. So as you know, it's 6 hours and there are 100 questions. It means that you have around 3 and something minutes for each questions. And what you need is just, of course, reread all these contracts and focus on the difference between these contracts, because it's really something that they test during the exam. As Christian mentioned, like, you know, these new editions 2017 are so far not very popular on the projects, and the majority of the projects are still based on the 99 version. So what you need to do is, if you have hands-on experience on working on the old versions, you need to just to compare between these editions. And this is one of the probably the best thing you should do during the preparation of the exams. Really focus on the list that FIDIC gives to you in advance of all the publication that you should read. And also do not disregard the recommendatory publications such as FIDIC guide, for example. It's not compulsory on the list, but it is recommendatory. And I would really recommend to go through this huge publication. Just it's not waste of time, I would say, but it's really, really helpful. And I don't know if they had it afterwards, but during our first stage exam, there was at least 2 questions directly from the FIDIC guide. So this is something you need to also focus on. Regarding other publications not on the list of the recommended literature, I would say that if you are limited in time and if you already have experience of working on the FIDIC contracts, I would not suggest to waste time on the other publications. There are many good books, like, for example, Niall Booney, the FIDIC forms of contract, and many others. But if you're really limited in time and if you have already the experience of working with these contracts, don't waste time and just focus on the literature that is recommended by FIDIC. This is the one for the phase 1, and for the phase 2, it's totally different. It's probably not more on your knowledge, but it's more about how you can handle within the stressful situation. Because it starts early in the morning, it ends late in the evening, and there is one night assessment. So you really, really need to devour yourself for 2 full days and nights for this exam. And this is something very stressful. Probably, first of all, because you have to be in front of your camera for the whole day, and then you turn off your camera and you still need to think about FIDIC contracts and write a decision or write an informal advice. This is probably what is tested during the phase 2, because if you pass phase 1 with this multiple choice exam, you probably already know all the basics thing you need to do, but prepare yourself for the phase 2 just emotionally. If you can handle and you can write and you can schedule yourself just to write all the essays, to switch on the mock DAB hearing, to write a decision, to write an informal advice. That's something also very difficult, but that's what you will face in practice. Like if you're a DB member, that's something you also need to know how to deal with it, how to work in the stressful situation. So that's something very general about these 2 phases. I just want to add one practical advice of how to deal with all these publications. So, for example, during the phase 2, you have, I don't remember exactly, probably around 20 different books. If you have the electronic versions of them, just pick them, just put them in one folder and practice just switching between different things, because as I already told you, in one question you can have different FIDIC forms of contracts, so 3 of them at least. So if you don't remember by heart, like, or you just want to double check yourself, your knowledge, just make sure you are comfortable switching between the different files, or you have all of them in front of you in printed form, so you can search it very quickly, because it also takes time and it's also something you need to know. That's probably what I wanted to share with the participant, how to come to it and what to do with that.